Bramblin drifts endlessly, moved by wind as it absorbs lingering life energy. Brambleghast controls its movement through spectral force, attacking by violent rotation. Toadschool mimics fungal life, escaping threats by rapidly folding its limbs. Toadscruel manipulates terrain with elastic tentacles, overwhelming enemies through reach. Clorf clings to cliffs with immense strength, ambushing prey from vertical surfaces. Capsicid produces volatile compounds, using spice as both defense and deterrent. Scovillain regulates extreme heat, unleashing fiery attacks fueled by chemical reactions. Relor compacts soil and nutrients, shaping survival through relentless labor. Rabska generates psychic fields, preserving life energy within floating orbs. Flittle floats using weak psychic power, drifting with minimal control. Espathra accelerates neural processing, overwhelming foes with sudden psychic bursts. Tinkertink scavenges metal relentlessly, forging weapons far larger than itself. Tinkertuff strengthens through repetition, refining raw force into controlled strikes. Tinkerton hunts steel types, wielding massive hammers forged from stolen materials. Wiglet burrows beneath sand, striking without warning before retreating underground. Wugtrio coordinates rapid attacks, overwhelming prey through synchronized movement. Bombardier drops improvised weapons from above, executing aerial ambushes. Finizen thrives socially, drawing strength from proximity to others. Palafin conceals its true power, transforming only when allies are in danger. Varoom burns toxic fuel internally, propelling itself through unstable combustion. Sprigatito absorbs sunlight through its fur, sharpening its senses as it moves silently through vegetation. Floragato refines its agility, using flexible movements and razor-sharp leaves to control close combat. Meowscarada blends illusion and speed, striking from the shadows before disappearing without a trace. Fuecoco stores excess heat within its body, releasing uncontrolled flames as a defensive instinct. Crocalor stabilizes its inner fire, using sound vibrations to regulate combustion. Skeledirge channels volcanic energy through its voice, turning sound into destructive force. Quaxley maintains constant discipline, using clean, precise movements to dominate aquatic terrain. Quaxwell trains relentlessly, refining balance and coordination for high-speed engagements. Quaquaval fights like a performer, combining rhythm, power, and fluid motion into overwhelming offense. Lechonk survives through adaptability, feeding constantly to build endurance in hostile environments. Oinkalone uses its dense body mass and heightened senses to protect territory and intimidate rivals. Tarantula creates elastic traps, using silk tension to immobilize prey far larger than itself. Spidops constructs complex hunting zones, manipulating terrain through calculated web placement. Nimble relies on sudden acceleration, darting unpredictably to avoid larger predators. Lokix ambushes targets from above, striking with bladed limbs before enemies can react. Pawmi generates static electricity through movement, discharging power via physical contact. Pawmo amplifies its electrical output, sustaining prolonged combat through repeated strikes. Pawmot converts stored electricity into life energy, reviving allies through direct contact. Tandemouse survives as a unit, relying on coordination and numbers rather than strength. Mousehold overwhelms threats through collective movement, functioning as a single organism. Fido ferments naturally over time, its elastic body resisting physical damage. Dachshund hardens through heat exposure, developing thermal resistance that turns fire into fuel. Smoliv stores nutrients within its body, slowly accumulating energy to survive harsh climates. Doliv matures by conserving resources, becoming more resilient as it absorbs sunlight. Arboliva anchors itself to the land, releasing restorative energy that reshapes its environment. Squawkabilly uses aggressive vocal displays to dominate territory and provoke rivals. Knackley absorbs minerals from its surroundings, crystallizing its body for protection. Knacklestack reinforces itself by stacking hardened salt, increasing defensive mass. Garganical weaponizes purified salt, extracting moisture from anything it strikes. Charcadet burns with unstable energy, constantly searching for combat to evolve. Armarouge channels psychic force through heavy armor, turning fire into controlled artillery. Cerulege converts hatred into flame, striking with spectral blades fueled by resentment. Tadbulb generates bioelectricity through elastic organs that pulse with stored charge. Bellybolt amplifies electrical output by expanding its body, releasing devastating surges. Wattrel rides ocean winds, building static energy through high-speed flight. Kilowattrel discharges massive electrical arcs, striking targets from extreme range. Mastiff survives through intimidation, using raw aggression to mask vulnerability. Mabostiff protects its pack with unbreakable resolve, fighting through pain and exhaustion. Shroodle marks territory with toxic saliva, weakening prey over time. Graphii spreads corrosive toxins, turning urban environments into hunting grounds. Rowlet, measuring around 0.3 meters tall, glides silently through forest canopies, hunting with calm precision. Dartrix, at roughly 0.7 meters in height, moves cautiously through dense woodland, refining balance. Decidui, reaching about 1.6 meters tall, stalks its territory unseen, firing feathered arrows with lethal. Litten, about 0.4 meters tall, prowls volcanic slopes, storing internal heat for explosive bursts of power. Torracat, growing to roughly 0.7 meters, trains relentlessly, building speed and strength through constant motion. Incineroar, towering near 1.8 meters, dominates its environment through raw power and intimidation. Poplio, measuring around 0.4 meters, swims playfully through tropical waters, shaping bubbles for movement and defense. Brion, about 0.6 meters tall, practices precise aquatic maneuvers guided by rhythm, and Primarina, reaching approximately 1.8 meters, commands the ocean with powerful voice-based. Standing close to 0.3 meters tall, pecks relentlessly at trees, storing impact energy in its beak. Trumbeak, at roughly 0.6 meters in height, patrols forest edges, launching heated seeds with accuracy. Toucanon, growing to about 1.1 meters tall, rules the skies with explosive blasts from its massive. Young Goose, around 0.4 meters tall, hunts aggressively during daylight, relying on persistence over speed. Gumshoes, measuring about 0.7 meters, guards territory obsessively, overpowering threats with powerful jaws. Grubbin, at roughly 0.4 meters in length, burrows through soil and roots, chewing obstacles with stored electricity. Chargebug, about 0.5 meters tall, stores enormous electrical energy within its compact body. Vikavolt, reaching around 1.5 meters, unleashes devastating electric beams from above. Crabrawler, measuring roughly 0.6 meters, roams beaches and jungles, surviving through relentless punches. Crabominable, standing near 1.7 meters tall, endures frozen peaks, crushing opponents with icy claws. Oricorio, about 0.6 meters tall, channels elemental energy through ritualistic island dances. Cutiefly, measuring just 0.1 meters, flits between flowers, gathering pollen to fuel its rapid metabolism. Ribombi, at roughly 0.2 meters in height, spreads pollen across vast distances with incredible speed. Rockruff, around 0.5 meters tall, explores rocky terrain driven by loyalty and curiosity. Lycanroc, reaching about 0.8 meters, adapts its hunting style to time, terrain, and instinct. Wishy-Washy, measuring only 0.2 meters individually, survives by merging into massive coordinated schools. Marini, about 0.4 meters tall, drifts through coral reefs, injecting toxins to deter predators. Toxapex, growing to roughly 0.7 meters, fortifies itself against all threats, ruling poisoned waters. Mudbray, standing near 1.0 meters tall, hauls heavy loads across muddy plains through pure endurance. Mudsdale, towering at around 2.5 meters, pulls enormous weight effortlessly, hardened by constant labor. Dewpider, measuring about 0.3 meters, skates across water surfaces, trapping air bubbles for survival. Araquanid, reaching roughly 1.8 meters, hunts underwater by crushing prey with water pressure. Fomantis, around 0.3 meters tall, hides among foliage, absorbing sunlight to grow stronger. Lurantis, standing near 0.9 meters, blends elegance and brutality, slicing foes with razor-sharp petals. Morlull, measuring about 0.2 meters, glows softly in dark forests, spreading energy-draining spores. Shinotic, reaching roughly 1.0 meters tall, manipulates bioluminescent light to lure prey. Salandit, about 0.6 meters tall, stalks volcanic caves, producing toxic gases for defense. Salazzle, growing to around 1.2 meters, controls its domain through pheromones and poison. Stuffle, measuring roughly 0.5 meters, appears harmless while hiding surprising physical strength. Beware, towering at about 2.1 meters, patrols forests with crushing power capable of breaking bone. Bounsweet, around 0.3 meters tall, rolls through grassy fields, storing nutrients for evolution. Steenie, measuring about 0.7 meters, sharpens balance and agility while defending itself fiercely. Sarina, standing near 1.2 meters tall, dominates. Foratrus clamps shut with a metallic snap, guarding what lies inside. Dunsparce burrows slowly, leaving long, winding tunnels behind. Gligar glides between cliffs, scouting with sharp claws. Steelix rumbles underground, its iron body grinding through stone. Snubble growls bravely, trying to look tougher than it is. Granbull stands firm, its massive jaws showing real strength. Quillfish inflates fast, firing toxic barbs at anything too close. Scizor moves in a blur, its steel claws slicing clean through the air. Shuckle hides in its shell, quietly fermenting berries inside. Heracross charges headfirst, powered by raw determination. Sneasel prowls icy cliffs, its claws sharp in the frozen wind. Teddy Ursa licks honey from its paws with innocent delight. Ursaring stomps through forests, carving trees to mark its territory. Slugma crawls slowly, dripping molten magma with every move. Magcargo crackles with heat, its shell burning hotter than lava. Swinub sniffs snowdrifts, searching for food beneath the ice. Piloswine pushes through blizzards, its thick fur shielding the cold. Corsola brightens coral reefs, swaying gently with the tide. Remoraid shoots precise water jets, clinging beneath Mantine. Octillery blasts ink with perfect aim, defending its territory. Delibird waddles through snow, delivering gifts from its bundle. Mantine glides like a kite, cutting smoothly across calm seas. Skarmory's steel wings slice the sky with piercing screeches. Houndour hunts in packs, coordinating with sharp barks and fire. Houndoom's flames burn fiercely, said to scar the soul itself. Kingdra rules deep waters, creating whirlpools when angered. Fanpy plays joyfully, splashing water with its tiny trunk. Donphan curls into a ball and charges with crushing force. Porygon 2 moves flawlessly, perfectly adapted to digital space. Stantler's antlers shimmer mysteriously, bending space around them. Smeargle paints its world, leaving art wherever it goes. Tyrogue trains constantly, shaping its evolution through effort. Hitmontop spins at high speed, striking with perfect balance. Smoochum learns through curiosity, kissing everything it finds. Magby breathes tiny embers, warming itself by molten rock. Miltank raises, producing milk, treasured everywhere. Blissey radiates warmth, soothing and healing those nearby. Raikou races like thunder, each step sparking the earth. Entei roars with volcanic force, shaking the land beneath. Suicune purifies water with every graceful step. Larvitar eats mountain stone, growing stronger underground. Pupitar rockets wildly, storing energy for evolution. Tyranitar reshapes mountains, feared for its overwhelming power. Lugia stirs storms with a single flap, hiding deep beneath the waves. Ho-Oh soars high, leaving glowing feathers drifting behind. Celebi drifts